3 days, I just try not to think about the radio station.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that was a Todd Schmidt.
That's why they had burgers. I like their burgers, yeah.
I did not know that.
I really did like their burgers.
It took them a while to add burgers.
They cooked them when you ordered them.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got something our guest for tomorrow. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Look, listen.
St. Francis Street, a block north of Cathedral
What's
Square.
there?
It's good old-fashioned Americana food made from scratch daily. Try a great appetizer like Conecuh County red beans and rice. Enjoy an Alabama salad. Experience the unique Bama
Plug this in,
burger.
Charlie.
Try their fried Bon Secure oysters. The complete menu's online at fatandhappy.com. Bob's Downtown Diner opens 7 to 3 every day. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, that's
Oh, come on before.
Whether you're in search of a great
Yeah.
bottle of
Oh,
wine
you got
or
one
you
there.
want a rundown of the best brunch spots in the area, Mike and Stu have the answer. With a combined half-century in the industry, they bring their wealth of experience
you're
to
plugged
bring you
in.
the latest trends,
Thank
expert
you, sir.
opinions, and interviews with people in the know. They are
When is
the
this
dynamic
stuff
duo
supposed to
of
go?
dining.
Third segment.
Okay, I've got it, I just haven't opened it.
Chew, it's wine food. Because chew rhymes with stew, that's the only reason. Glorified, dry cook, great killer.
Now it's time for Sip and Chew with Mike and Stu on Echo Talk
Mics are hot.
106.5.
Pass that bottle, baby.
And what?
Pass that bottle.
I'm excited.
Are we just gonna gloss over what happened Monday night and just go on with the food and wine talk?
Wow.
Monday
We didn't
night.
even talk about it last Sunday.
I don't
Before
remember
it
that far
happened.
back.
Yeah, yeah. All
Just-
Alabama fans got selective amnesia right
Well, what's there to talk about?
now. Yeah, the best team in the country won the game.
They did.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I think they
did.
proved it.
They
And,
proved it. I just
which
hope
is
this-
not a slight to Alabama at all.
I just
They're
hope this
incredible.
doesn't turn into an every other year thing. Clemson wins it one year and Alabama wins it one year, just going back and forth.
About every 5 can you throw us a bone?
Yeah, we'll work. We'll see what that.
Yeah.
See if we can do something about that.
Well, you know,
Anyway.
there isn't a coach in America that would not want to have a 14-1 season,
Exactly.
come up number 2 in the nation, and play in the national championship game.
Yeah.
So all is not lost.
Yeah, no kidding.
I just wish Nick Saban had been a little more animated than like he was in the Oklahoma game, like breaking headphone sets.
Well, was it just me? Because every time I would see them put a camera on Nick, it looked like he was standing there by himself.
with his arms crossed.
Where
like
was the other coach? Where were the other coaches?
Nothing, and especially when there were two obvious pass interferences, and Nick Saban didn't even jump them or anything.
And why didn't Jalen come in?
Sooner, yeah. But you know, those are all things you
Of course, he's gone.
shoulda,
now.
coulda, woulda, and he'll be gone now for sure. So.
Okay, so we got
And wish
that.
him
So-
good luck. He seems like a fine young man.
Yeah, really does. Got it. Now, some football that'll make you happy.
What's that?
The Cowboys lost. I saw you posted a meme or 20
Yeah.
about it. Heather was not enjoying the game at all.
Are the Saints still alive?
Heck yeah, number 1 seed.
Number one
Okay.
seed.
They host the defending champions today.
The Philadelphia Eagles today at 3:45 or 3:15, so
Mhm.
3-ish.
Can I share a quick Saints story?
Absolutely.
I used to work with a fellow named Scott Harrison who was working with me out of Biloxi. And Scott goes to these games, and occasionally I go with him, and I get to do the locker room interviews where I hand my cell phone to some football player, and he talks to New York or ESPN or one of those networks. And but anyhow, the Saints won the Super Bowl a couple of years back, and we had
Very
beautiful
well.
press boxes up about the second balcony on the 11-yard line. Beautiful viewpoint up there. They win the Super Bowl. First thing that happens, they get an all brand new locker room.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing that happens, they converted all those press area to skyboxes.
Yeah.
They stuck us up in the very top 2 or 3 rows, way up in the other end of the field. And, you know, you talk about nosebleed. We were looking down on that big TV thing that is over the field. And, but talk about excitement. I've never been in the stadium because I was there the first game of the next season, and it was so loud the whole game. The cheering never even ebbed. You had to scream at somebody sitting right beside you to hear each other.
I used to go to a lot of Saints games a long time ago, and I quit going because every time I went, they lost. Well, the
Yes, thank you for not going anymore.
the year I quit going is the year they won the Super Bowl.
They have some witches down in the district, down in the quarter. I know they got these Saints dolls, and about halfway through the season, if New Orleans is doing too good, they start putting pins in the
Yeah, witches,
Heads-
you mean mafia.
well, the voodoo queens.
Yeah.
Well, look,
At what?
did you hear what played right before our show started?
Yeah, there was a commercial for Bob's Diner. That's a fine eating
That's
establishment.
why I'm
The
excited.
Sip and Chew show is brought to you by Bob's Downtown
Proudly.
Diner. Proudly. At the corner of Fat and Happy. And I'm going to tell you what, I've gotten fat and happy there.
Mhm.
Many a times.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
I see.
website, fatandhappy.com.
Well, we're excited about having Tony and the gang down there as our sponsors. And
Hey, Mike, are they doing a brunch right now?
yes,
At this moment.
So if you're
Yeah.
out riding around thinking, boy, I really want to find a place in Mobile where I can go to a brunch without
well, they have
with,
breakfast right
adult
now.
beverages.
Yeah.
They have breakfast right now, but brunch, what I classify as brunch,
Mhm.
10:30.
starts at 10.
Oh,
when
okay.
they
So you
start
can
serving-
eat your way through breakfast and lunch,
Well,
Yeah.
you know, you
or drink your way through.
that's it right there. You have the mimosas or the poinsettia, which Blue likes. She likes the poinsettias.
Now, I've never heard of a poinsettia.
It's champagne and cranberry juice.
Oh, okay. Now, that's not a mimosa. No,
Yeah. Orange juice and champagne is a mimosa.
that's right.
Or I mean
And
champagne,
do they,
sparkling.
is Bloody Mary on there? I hope.
They do Bloody Marys.
Okay.
They have good Bloody Marys too, by the way.
And thank you, Tony Sawyer, for being part of this.
Absolutely. Excited. So anyway, there are some teasers that have been hitting the Facebook social media page. You know,
Mhm.
it's teasers, and it's about a little red building out on O'Shell Road.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And yes, folks, they are starting to tease us now. And I'm gonna tell you, I've been going to a lot of barbecue places, and I've only found a few really good barbecue places that are two of, and neither one of them, the two are in Mobile. They're in Baldwin County.
Yeah. You need to get up and sell that.
Maybe I do.
Yeah.
Maybe I do. And but
You know, Jay Rogers is something nice.
yeah, well, I'll do that. And but I'm gonna tell you, if you hadn't seen it, the Brick Pit has started teasing everybody on social media.
It is funny that you bring up Little Red buildings.
Yeah.
Because this Saturday, the Little Red Schoolhouse down on Dolphin Island, they're having the wings and chili contest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and went to Art Walk the other night.
Yeah.
Fantastic Art Walk. I don't know where everybody was. The weather was great.
Hadn't been anybody out all this week.
Yeah.
Everywhere I've been, it's been dead. Every
Yeah.
restaurant, everything.
But great Art Walk with Brandon David Calametti.
Yeah.
He made the mention to Heather he might need some judging this weekend. So
Okay.
This is a WFC sanctioned event. So
Good.
one of the first of the new year. And Gene Fox, you know, can get you all the information. So just, you know, Google Gene Fox.
Yeah.
So that
Everybody
won't
knows.
be a judgment-free zone?
No, exactly the opposite.
Okay.
We need a cymbal and drums.
Rim shot.
Rim
Yeah.
shot, yeah, rim shot. We need a rim shot, Charlie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Meeting and getting are two different things, as we all know.
Yeah, I couldn't make the meeting because it's way down on Dolphin Island,
Mhm.
so I couldn't make the meeting the other night. Also, the other night, the same night, they had a meeting for the Cajun cook-off.
Mm.
So it's hard to ride
Yeah.
two horses with one butt.
Yeah, so I just
And I
didn't go to either one.
That's me.
Yeah. Garrick Ogburn was on last week during
Yeah.
a cafe. Sent Heather home Friday with a Cambro full of his homemade sourdough.
Mm-hmm.
The dough.
Did the,
And from a starter he has had for 4 years.
wow.
I made 2 loaves of it last night. My
Wow.
gosh.
And
Yeah, some good stuff, Garrick. He made some last week and was serving it. And he makes everything from scratch. Heather's been coming home talking about. And he made the weirdest thing, and it was delicious. All this, but he was in there making the
oh, that
breakfast.
must be.
Yeah. And So if y'all hadn't got down to the Y to check out Nourish Cafe in Garrett, you need to. And that sourdough, just whack it as soon as it came out of the oven. Got 2 great big 2-inch thick slices.
Yeah.
And a big old chunk of challenge butter on each one of them. That was our final meal today.
Cool. And you know, not too far from him, the Iron Hand has opened up. It's a brew pub.
Mm-hmm.
And they do plan on doing their own brewery, making their own beers there. But they carry a number of things from other people. They've got like fish and chips. I don't know if they have mushy peas though. But
Good, because those are gross. There was a great
I don't
segment.
eat peas anyway.
The original Daily Show was hosted by John Kilgore, even before Jon Stewart got there. Great, but they had a great English thing. But we'll tell you about it when we come back from the break.
3430106.
Hey, that was what I was trying to think of.
And you can text us there. You give us a call. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, before the end of the show.
This is a participation sport, right?
Yes, it is.
It's also a contact sport.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Go make contact.
They got a beautiful building. It's an old mission church.
Julie, did you borrow the noodle nose pliers?
Does Reinhold know you're out here going through his tools?
He won't mind. I'm getting ready to unfix a few of our expenses.
What do you mean?
He was saying that our business will suffer if we don't do something to lower our fixed
I did
expenses.
a meal the other night.
I figured if they're already fixed,
the one
then
I
they're
posted
still
on
causing a
Facebook.
You
problem.
missed
then
a
I can
meal? Is
just
that what you said?
No, I did a
unfix them,
meal.
and that
Oh.
should solve everything, right?
Kinda, sorta,
put
yeah. I mean,
balsamic
if you're going
vinegar
about it the
and
wrong
everything.
way, you don't need tools, just a
Well,
telephone.
crap.
Or
Did
give
it
us a
with my
call to the
carrots.
Jack Green
Right,
Insurance
these
Agency
were
is
not-
what you
Because they
should
call
do
for
if you're
it.
looking
These
to
are the
lower your
recipe I
fixed
used
for marinating
expenses.
my
Jack Green is
cheap
always
on pork
helping
chops
people
was
lower their insurance
called for
premiums on
balsamic vinegar.
all types of
So I went ahead and
commercial
put them in my
insurance.
mix
Helping
with
people
the
in business stay in
bodacious
business.
seasoning
That's
that
right.
What a concept.
John
Pretty simple.
Jack
gave
can
us.
save you money on your
I still got
homeowners
another whole
and the
bag.
all-important yearly coverage.
I've been giving
Call
it away,
Jack
and I
Green
still
for
got
your
another
quote
whole bag.
today in Mobile, 251-344-5393.
Step away from the power tools.
Sorry.
Yeah, I
In the
keep
Old
forgetting the
West.
name of this bed and breakfast that Heather got us reservations at for my birthday weekend downtown. It's got a chick's name on it.
All right, that's your old Lang Syne thing.
Yeah.
Our
The other one's an actual poem by
sandwich
Robert
order,
Burns
piled
called
high with bacon, cheese, lettuce,
I'm
tomato,
having to play it
onion
off of
pickles,
the internet.
or just
Yeah.
the way you like
Sean's
it.
not
It's
here,
time
y'all.
for the showdown. Butch Cat.
These are old.
Yeah, way old.
To a mouse.
Oh, never mind.
Wee sleeket kauren temmeris beastie.
Okay. Why don't I skip the title, or you want the title?
No, you can skip the title.
To a mouse. We
You got a day.
sleeket.
Come on, damn it.
We
Okay.
497.
All right, you want those at the end of segment 3?
We can play the music at the beginning of segment 3 when our caller comes on.
The
Okay.
Alabama Broadcasters
Okay.
Association.
You can
and
just come
this
back from
station.
commercial playing that.
All right. Coming back.
To get on the line, call 343
I may have to step out
Now back to
sometime.
Mike and Stu.
Mics are hot. Oh, wait a minute. I got a thing here somewhere.
Okay.
Boy, there was an excited crowd behind him.
I believe that was at World Food Championships.
Yep. Hey, what I was going to say about the place downtown, Iron Hand, it's a beautiful, beautiful old building that's in the tiny square. Not a whole lot of parking, but you know there's you can park on the streets.
Park at Mike's place.
Almost, I can walk to it and crawl back if I had to. When I do a pub crawl, I literally
Yeah.
do a pub crawl.
I was gonna ask you if you actually did that, but
Oh,
then I've
but-
got this mental image and I could see it.
But it turns out whenever I ride my bike after I've been out at night, I always come down with cellulitis. So
Can you get a DUI on a bike?
I don't know.
Absolutely.
I
On a
haven't.
public street, you can.
I don't know.
Well, what if you're on the sidewalk?
Then you have a bicycle somewhere it's not supposed to go, and you've got public intoxication. Yeah, they just.
Only if you're obvious.
Yeah.
But I've never been that way. So anyway,
What, obvious?
never obvious. Yeah.
I was gonna say before we went to the break, the old Daily Show, when before Jon Stewart took it on, it was John Kilgore, who was from ESPN. And he had John Cleese on one night. It's a lot of Johns though at you. Right? It was Craig Kilborn. Sorry, Craig Kilborn. And he was doing what he called his 7 questions, and they were always rapid fire, and the guest had to give a quick answer. And the last one on there was, "Why does British food suck?" And without missing a beat, John Cleese said, "Give us a break. We were running an empire." So mushy peas, they're gross.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of peas anyway, because that was on every meal we had growing up. Only thing that and mac and cheese. I will not eat mac and cheese or green peas to this day. The only thing that changed at night was the meat, and that was questionable if that was good or not.
You're gonna be in real trouble if you go to Costco.
Why?
You heard the story, they're selling mac and
Oh.
cheese in 27-pound packages, and
Let 'em.
they're selling out.
Yeah, let them.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be survival food, and it will stay fresh until 20 something.
I'll just die.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
die of starvation. I won't eat it.
Well, you don't have to if you go out and eat somewhere else. In fact, where did you eat? Where'd you eat, Mike?
Well, I'm doing most of my eating because of the diet I'm on. I'm doing most of my eating during the day.
Right.
But I want to hear yours first while
Okay.
I look up mine.
I don't remember mine.
You know, I mentioned we went out art walk. We started at what is probably Heather's favorite restaurant in town, if you want to call this exactly a restaurant. Surely you go there, you sit down, you order, you eat, you drink. It's the Cheese Cottage. And oh man, I got that pimento goat cheese and bacon sandwich. Oh my gosh, that was good. They had a kale and potato soup with sauce again that night that was beyond perfect for a brisk night. It was brisk night. And then we finally, the one thing she wanted to see at Art Walk was this Serpents of Bienville, which is a shop on Government.
Yeah.
That delves into the history of Bienville, you know, our pal that, you know, helped us name our square. He was covered with snake tattoos because when he got over here with the Malvillas, he went native. And so she wanted to go see the exhibit on that and everything. That's a bit of a walk from Bienville Square to the 700 block of Government Street. Luckily, about 2 or 3 blocks before then, we got to stop at Serta's Brewing. I had not been to the new brew house. And
Beautiful, isn't it?
yeah, really was. Went in, they had an espresso porter that I just loved. And Heather got their German lager. And we had to stop and rest. You know,
I'm sure.
we still had a few blocks to go. But the Cheese Cottage was terrific. But the other night, I was craving wings.
Wings.
And we live in Sims, so luckily the best wings place, in my opinion, in Mobile County is in West Mobile, and it's actually called Wemo's, right there at Airport Chillers. So we're gonna go to Wemo's, right? We're gonna get us all kinds of different wings, right?
Yeah.
Apparently we weren't the only ones who had that idea. So they were on a bit of a wait. Briquette's another fine place on that same shopping center.
Yeah.
On a bit of a wait. But this Japanese restaurant that's been there forever, Bonsai.
Oh yeah, it has been there a long
Yeah.
time.
So she's
And there's
like,
a reason why it's been there a long time.
there is. I found out why there's a reason it's been there a long time. So we go in. It's very old school sushi. You know, they've got some modern stuff on the menu. I believe Heather's roll was crawfish and it was fried. Mine was more traditional. But we got this appetizer line of these meatballs, these Japanese meatballs that are wrapped in a dough, a dumpling dough with wasabi mixed into the dough.
Like a Wellington?
Yes, very similar to a Wellington, but a Japanese Wellington.
Yeah.
And they were unbelievable. And they start out, they bring you each a little plate of edamame and a basket that has a warm, wet towel rolled up.
A warm, wet towel.
So that you can mop your face and clean your hands off.
After you get it all over you?
But no, before you start. To refresh yourself before your meal. And it was terrific. So it's probably become our new favorite sushi bar. And as soon as I put that on Facebook, a few minutes later, our buddy Kevin Brooks chimes in and said, yeah, it's his favorite too.
Cool.
And just terrific. And you know, we're leaving and I'm looking, I'm like, this is the best sushi bar so far that I've found. The best wing place that I found. And the best locally owned steakhouse in Mobile probably since Corbett's.
All on one corner.
Same parking lot.
Same parking lot.
You can park in the middle of the parking lot and be equal distance to all three of them. And that is refreshing because the rest of that area is inundated with the same old cookie cutter chain food.
Yeah.
That, I mean, that's a depressing drive along Schillinger's.
It is.
At that area looking at nothing locally owned. So that one little corner there, that's where I'm doing my
You know,
business.
you were talking about the snakes.
Yeah.
Okay. Outside of the Iron Hand, if you look on the telephone pole, they've got a snake mounted, and those snakes are mounted on different things all around downtown area. You just got to really look for them, see them.
Yeah.
Most of them, some of them are on telephone poles,
What's
and
that?
they're up so nobody will steal them either.
What's that all about?
Y'all talking about the snakes?
Well, they were a big
It
part
reminded me.
of you know, the woodland Native American tribes along here. It was a big part of their culture religiously. So maybe it harkens to that. That was the whole reason Bienville was getting the tattoos. He wanted to absorb himself in the local cultures. Have you thought to ask anybody?
Well, I've seen it in the Lanyap, and I think Mobile Bay Monthly. I've seen these snakes pictured before.
Okay.
There is a story behind it.
Okay.
But
we don't know what it is.
We'll find it. We will find out.
Yeah.
If somebody knows, please call in.
Yeah, but
chime in.
But not just yet, because in our next segment, and I'm really happy that we've got these folks on. And when we come back, we're going to be talking with Randy Seale from the Scottish Society of Mobile. Because they got something coming up in a couple of weeks that I have been a part of a number of times. I can't believe you haven't done it. A meal where you toast before each course. I mean, that's just right up your alley. But they have a Burns supper coming up where they celebrate the life of Scotland's greatest bard, Robert Burns. And we are all familiar with at least one of his poems. All of us will know it, and you'll recognize it when it plays in a little while.
And we're going to play it on their very radio.
Yeah, yeah. And it's something all of you know the words to, whether you understand them or not.
Yeah.
So, but so when we come back, we'll be talking to Randy Seale about this, and I'm going to probe, because it used to be they would mention at the Burns Supper about the annual drive to bring in more members to the Scottish Society, and that was usually a Scotch tasting that I have also attended.
Okay.
And you know, when you got 30-something scotches to choose from, it's a good night, Mike.
I would think about number 20, it'd all start tasting pretty good.
It is, have you ever done a Scotch tasting?
Yeah.
It is amazing how different Scotches are in
yeah.
flavor.
Now, if you look, I haven't been in a while, but I know one of our big advertisers, Codjo Package Store. They do a lot of Scotch tastings and whiskeys tastings and beer tastings out there in that little. It used to be a little store, now it's huge.
I just want to know why single malt is important. Isn't that part of a type of Scotch?
Yeah, there's two kinds. There's single malt, which or blended, which means more than one whiskey has been combined. A single malt means it was all made in one batch, aged that way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then the blendeds are
So
a
there's
couple of
two
different
basic types then.
Right. And They are graded on peatiness and tarness and carameliness, but we'll talk about all of this when we come back with Randy Seale from the Scottish Society of Mobile. Alba Gu Bra.
Sure, that'd be good.
Charlie's throwing out his Gaelic.
That's all I know. That's the limit. Now, what did you want to play going into the segment? The poem?
No, the Old Lang Syne.
Okay.
Do we have a commercial coming up after this?
That we need to do?
For Bob.
FM Talk
Let's do 3 of them.
1065.
Okay, we're
The
supposed
Gulf Coast
to
Weather
say them
Authority
ourselves?
and Dr.
Oh,
Bill
we got
Williams.
the commercial that played
It's going to
before
get
we got
partly
started.
cloudy skies today with temperatures in the upper 50s this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy, lows in the upper 30s. And for Monday, mostly sunny.
And Bob's is in this break and Bob's is in the next.
It's meteorologist
All right, we're gonna
Dr.
start with Old Lang
FM
Syne.
Talk 106.5.
Okay.
FM Talk 106.5. The Gulf Coast Weather Authority.
Looking for a great breakfast or lunch? You gotta try Bob's Downtown Diner, 263 St. Francis Street, a block north of Cathedral Square. It's good old-fashioned Americana food
Yeah,
made
son
from
in law
scratch daily.
found my
Try a
other
great
Kershaw.
appetizer like
Just-
Conecuh County red beans and rice.
That's where he found it.
Enjoy an Alabama salad.
just like that,
Experience the
on
unique
the
batter
battery
burger
underneath
or
the
try
burger.
their
All right, what am I
fried
playing?
secure oysters.
The poem?
Complete menu
The song.
online at
Old Lang Syne.
fatandhappy.com.
Yeah, okay.
Bob's Downtown Diner open 7 to 3 every day. You're gonna love it.
We'll go out with the
Contests on
coin,
FM
and you can
Talk
do a fade out on that
106.5 are open
coin
to
too,
persons
since nobody's
18
gonna want
years
to
of
hear
age
all
or
of it.
older. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Void where prohibited by law. Unless otherwise stated.
It's probably got a 4
Is
measure in
permitted
it.
and for
You
all
need to
prizes
talk
with
to
a
him for a
value over
minute.
$600. Winners must complete a prize
Then
claim
leave him on
form.
hold.
Present
Hey,
a
look,
valid
when we get in
social
our last
security number
segment,
and will be
we'll
issued an
talk about
IRS form
restaurant
1099 for the
terms.
fair market
That'll
value.
work.
Winners are
Okay.
responsible for all applicable title and registration fees. And
like
any
the way I
state,
did my
local,
carrots
and federal
the other night.
taxes.
Yeah.
FM Talk 106.5
Al
WADH. Their
dente. Al
employees,
dente.
owners, and agents are not responsible for liabilities
I'm just
arising
asking
directly or
questions.
indirectly from the award or use of the
Yeah.
prize. Bigler Broadcasting reserves the right to revise these rules at any time. For a complete copy of the FM Talk 106.5 official contest rules, visit us
Order
during
some of the
regular
other
business
segments.
hours. 900
This ain't gonna
Western
be out.
America Circle,
Yeah.
Suite 106, Mobile.
It's a new economy. We're in a no-joke,
Glaze.
take no prisoners economy. You must use your best tactics to ensure your business continues to grow. This is Lauren Cadmus with the FM Talk 106.5 Sales Department. An advertising campaign on FM Talk 106.5 will deliver
Well,
your
then I'm
message
gonna
to a
do-
then I'm
loyal
gonna do
audience
one.
of Mobile and Baldwin County adults
That's a wine
with
thing.
higher household income and education.
Noble Rock?
Call me at
Noble Rock.
344-1065
Is that what it was?
extension
No,
19, and I'll help
on
design a
affiliate.
plan to
By the way,
efficiently and
guys,
effectively
y'all
promote
can
your
have more
business
than one
and increase your
sponsor of the
sales.
show.
Yeah, we are working on it. We are.
Best in sports.
And Cheese Cottage says they want to do a remote with us, so Mike can get by there. Cheese Cottage on St. Louis Street.
Brilliant.
You know, as long as they're not in direct competition with Bob's any other sponsor, you know, like
Well, he's they're a cheese cottage.
Yeah, they sell cheese.
Yeah.
You love to talk about. Weekday afternoons at 2.
No, I don't mean for a remote, I'm talking about as a
FM Talk
potential sponsor.
106.5.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
To get on the
Different
line,
market
call
altogether.
343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be
All right, I'm gonna bring him on.
forgot and days of old lang syne?
The mics are hot.
My whole life, I don't know what this song means. Are we supposed to remember people that we've forgotten? Because that seems impossible. If we've forgotten them, how can we remember them?
I think it means go back and it'd be great if we could go back up to an earlier year and recall that event or those friendships.
I was actually doing lines from a movie, Charlie.
Oh, okay.
That was
I missed it.
the lines were from When Harry Met Sally.
Charlie.
Yeah, when Harry met Rabbie. On the phone with us is Randy Seale. On the phone with us is Randy Seale from Scottish Society of Mobile. Randy, good morning. Alba Gu Bra. For those who don't know what we're saying, that means Scotland forever. All right, you've got something coming. Hey, thanks for coming on. You know, my brother was the president of the Scottish Society a number of years ago, so that's how I know kind of what's going on the inside. But y'all got something coming up in a couple of weeks to honor the poet who wrote the lyrics of the song we just heard. Whether you understand what they're talking about or not, it's Robert Burns. So why don't you tell us a little more about your Burns Night Supper? Not too far from Lucky Irish Pub and Grill, so when y'all get done, y'all can go get you. Yeah, go get you a little Bellhaven. They carry that there, I believe.
Can Scots go to an Irish place?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Scots and the Irish, they get in there, they make fun of the English. Yeah, exactly. That's what they're there for.
And their food.
I mean, if you weren't supposed to make fun of the English, then why would they have those teeth?
Or their food.
Oh, really bad here.
Now you know
you
know what it's like when there are no Englishmen in the room. There you go. But for folks that have never attended a Burns Night, and this isn't just something that's done in Mobile, this is done worldwide. Right. Usually. Yeah. Right. You know, I did a paper in college in English literature, and we were supposed to write about one of the English writers we had studied that semester, and I wrote mine on Robert Burns and how he has been neglected by English literature because so much of his imagery involves a Scotsman braining an Englishman with a rock. And therefore, they try to steer away from teaching English or teaching Burns in an English literature course. Yeah. Right. Right, exactly. And, you know, and it's important that people know who it was that wrote him. Now, I've been to a few of these, but you want to tell people how the evening unfolds, because it's not your typical banquet. Right. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know about the last part. They will eat the haggis. But, for those who are unaware, haggis is kind of the Scottish peasants' food that it kept them going in the winter, but it wasn't necessarily the best parts of anything. Nutritionally, definitely the best part, but the average person would say it's not the best parts. But now it's offal. It's in trend now. Mm-hmm. All the nutrients are there, yeah. Right, and with enough Plowman's pudding, it's edible. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, well, now we're just going to eat the stuff that's perfect for warfare in a Highland setting. Great. But the Plowman's pudding makes it palatable, more palatable for the average person, which is essentially like the stuff that goes in mincemeat pie, isn't it? It's just dates and apples, you know, lots of cinnamon stuff. Now, exactly. I was taught that my entire life growing up, and my brother constantly reemphasizes that. And sometime off the air, if we get a chance, I'd love to tell you about his and his wife's visit to Glencoe. It was a great tale to be told at any Burns night. But yeah, my girlfriend has never experienced a Burns night, and she her degree is in English literature, so it might be something we'll be looking into. Yeah. Now, with the Scottish Society, who sponsors this event, do you still do a Scotch tasting each year? 2 Scotch tastings a year. Scotch Tuberfest. I love it.
Why do I not know about this?
I don't know. Do y'all still meet at the Botanical Gardens? That's how long it's been. Yeah, very familiar with that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. For people, there we go. All right, and do y'all have a Facebook page set up for your Burns night? Excellent. All right, Randy, we're going to go out with a little bit of the Bard, but I wanted to thank you for coming on, and hopefully we'll see you. Will there be a Kaylee this year? Excellent, excellent, excellent. Well, hopefully we will see you out there, and thanks for coming on. Alba Gu Bra.
What he said. Well, that's, you know, everybody said, have you thought about joining that? And, you know, all that walking and when I was young, I should have done it when I was younger.
Yeah.
Should have done it when I was younger.
You got the point ready to go there?
Yeah, he's all queued up, and the orator is standing on his soapbox, and he's ready to
Well, let's
recite.
turn it over to old Rabbie Bones.
Cowering timorous beastie. Oh, what a panic's in the breastie. Thou needna start a war so hasty with bicker and brattle. I would be laith to rin and chase thee with murder and battle. I'm truly sorry man's dominion has broken nature's social union, and justifies that ill opinion which makes thee startle at me, thy poor earth-born companion and fellow mortal. I doubt na whiles but thou may thieve. What then? Poor beastie, thou maun live. A demon icarna thraves a small request. I'll get a blessing with the lave and never missed. Thy wee bit housey tune ruin, its silly was the winds are strewn, and Nathan now to beg a new end of foggage green. And bleak December's winds ensuing, death snail and keen.
Somebody just tuned in, had their
the
clue what
fields
the hell's
lay
going on.
waste, and weary winter coming fast, and cozy here beneath the blast thou thought to dwell, till crash the cruel coulter passed out through thy cell. That wee bit heap of leaves and stubble has cost thee money a weary nibble. Now thou's turned out for a' thy trouble, but house are hauled to thole the winter's sleety dribble and craniereth cold.
Looking for a great breakfast or lunch? You gotta try Bob's Downtown Diner, 263 St. Francis Street.
Mark
a block
reminded
north
me
of
that
Cathedral Square. It's good
Arlo
old-fashioned
Guthrie's
Americana
estate
food
still
made
has
from
rights to
scratch
this
daily.
song.
Try a great
So I'm
appetizer
gonna
like
have to
Connecticut
take it
County
off
red
the
beans and
commercial, but I'm
rice.
gonna let it
Enjoy
run
an
next
Alabama
week, too.
salad.
Okay.
Experience the unique Bama burger. Or
And
try
this
their
was a
fried
karaoke
barbecue
version of
oysters.
Alice's
The complete
Restaurant,
menu's
which is a
online
fine
at
little
fatandhappy.com.
instrumental.
Bob's
Might add it
Downtown
to the
Diner
box.
opens
We can
7
use
to
it
3
as
every
beds,
day.
we can use
You're
it for
gonna love it.
PSAs.
For over 16 years, Lagniappe has
You
been
can't use it
dedicated
for
to bringing
commercial.
Mobile and Baldwin counties the most
Or
extensive
you can do it
news,
until you get a
commentary,
cease and
investigative
desist
reporting,
order from the
business,
court.
cuisine, sports,
Which
and
probably
arts and
would
entertainment
never
coverage.
happen.
When another
Yeah.
publication became a statewide website instead of a hometown newspaper, we became even more committed, covering our city and county
Okay,
government,
okay.
school systems,
Two
all
words
the
you
news
can
and
ask
stories
me.
that matter the most
Two
to those
words.
of us who live here. This
What they
holiday
mean.
season, we would like to thank
How
the many
and
advertisers
why.
who supported us over
And
the
then I
years,
got-
and the over 80,000 readers who pick up Lagniappe each week, and thousands more who read it online
I'll ask you
at
first.
lagniappemobile.com.
The words.
We appreciate your support.
I mean,
Now, through
there's
the end of the year, we
hundreds
have a
of them.
very special
Oh, yeah.
deal for you.
People-
Buy a one-year
some of them
subscription to
obvious.
Lagniappe
Saute
HD and get a 6-month subscription for free. Gift it to a friend, neighbor, or relative. Your
You said
hometown
one of yours is
newspaper
only
delivered
about-
right to your mailbox each
On
and every
affiliate.
week.
On
It's the
affiliate,
perfect
yes.
stocking stuffer.
It sounds
the
like I
gift
want
that keeps
affiliate.
giving all
Yeah.
year. Details at lagniappemobile.com
Almost
or call
affiliate.
251-450-4466. From all of
And
us at
Noble Rod is a
Lagniappe, have a
fungus
merry,
that
bright,
gets
and
started on
wonderfully
his
funky
raisins,
holiday season.
raisin.
Get ready for the
And that way you
2019
get less
Charity
yield
Chase,
out of it,
Saturday,
which
January
means
26th in downtown
the juice
Mobile,
coming out is
starting
gonna
and
be
ending
sweeter,
at
higher
O'Daly's
concentration of
Irish
sugar
Pub,
is
564
sweet.
Dolphin Street.
Sweetness.
The Alabama Coastal Foundation
those
is
are
one of the
generally
local
more
charities that
expensive.
you
And what does
can
that
choose
have
to
to do with
race
tartar?
for and support ACF initiatives, a
Cream of
racing in the
tartar
5K, or
that you
even the
use,
1 mile fun
for
run.
bacon.
$5 of your
It's a
registration
powder
fee
that forms
goes
at the
to
top of
your
bottles.
favorite charity. Details at joinacf.org.
You're listening to the
I thought
newest,
that's where it
boldest,
came from.
freshest station in Mobile, FM Talk 106.5. Talk radio now in crystal clear digital FM stereo. 8 out of 10 radio users listen to FM. So an advertising campaign for your business on FM Talk 106.5 will reach the number of qualified adults it'll take to increase your business. Our listeners are paying attention to what we're saying, not just to song after song. This is
I'll
Bill
figure it out
Roth,
one
Director of Sales, and I'd be happy
I
to talk
Google
to
it,
you
but
about
my
how
Googler
we
is
can
up there.
successfully advertise your business. This is a great
What
economy,
would you Google
and by
if you
giving me a
Google it?
call at 251-344-1065,
Where do we get
extension
started?
15, we'll discuss how to promote your business
Google.
efficiently and economically.
Yeah, you can type it
Our
into
listeners should
Facebook.
be
Hey,
your
would somebody
customers.
Google this
Let's
for me?
talk about how to make that happen. The number again is 251-344-1065, extension 15.
the Google.
We're FM Talk 1065. Let us go to work for you.
To get on the line, call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
I just was in the mood.
Well, if you we go out with Scotland the Brave on bagpipes. That'll always make me happy.
Oh, yeah.
This is a Rob Roy soundtrack? Or Braveheart?
That's a good movie. Both of them are great movies.
Braveheart was set in Scotland, filmed in Ireland.
Now, you asked me a question earlier, Stu.
I did?
About where to eat.
Yeah.
Now, I set the internet on fire. Well, not the internet, but I set Facebook on fire the other night.
The Facebook?
I explained
The
why I
Facebook.
couldn't open it.
With pictures of what I cooked Friday night. And I did a T-bone pork chop with squash and onions and 2 different types of squash. I
Yeah,
like that.
Charlie, it went viral. Almost 13 people watched it.
Hey, I actually saw it, and I kept waiting for him to say, and I'm announcing my candidacy for president.
But I did my carrots al dente.
Yeah, al dente.
And I think that's what excited most everybody about what that term. Just using the term. If I said real carrots, I said, well. But they were al dente because I got the little skinny carrots, the long skinny carrots.
Baby carrots.
But a lot of people don't know a lot of these terms, restaurant food terms, and there's terms in the wine industry too. So I want to ask you a few of them, and you explain to the audience, our listening audience, on live on Facebook as well.
Yeah, we're live on Facebook, y'all. Facebook.com/SipAndShoot.
Al dente, what does that mean?
To the tooth. Refers to mainly used in description of pasta. Americans tend to overcook pasta. If you bite into pasta and it is soft, you burnt your pasta.
Okay.
It's supposed to have a little toothsomeness, a little bit bite. Not
Resistance.
crunchy.
Resistance.
Yeah, just a little resistance, and that's what al dente means. To the tooth.
Resistance.
Right, and you did that with your carrots. So there was just a little bit of snap there still.
Oh my God, they were good. I want to cook them again.
Well, I'll let you.
Okay. All right. How about deglaze?
Deglaze. Well, that brings in another term.
Deglaze.
That brings in
Where's
another term.
deglaze? Okay.
Fawn. Both of these are French terms. You know, in French it would probably be deglaze. But we deglaze here in America. You take your steak, you pan cook it, right? You pull the steak out, you got a bunch of brown crud on the bottom.
Yeah.
That's fawn.
Okay.
Which is French for brown yummy stuff. I believe that is a direct translation. But to get that fawned up, and you want it in your sauce. So you add a little bit of wine to it usually, a little beer will work, a little booze if you want.
What about stock?
Stock works as well. And you put just a little bit in so that it starts boiling immediately and loosens all that fond up, and you are deglazing the pan. And there's a lot of flavor in that fond.
Yeah.
And so you want to use it. And just, you know, here's something real quick for you if you want to try all of this. Just get you a couple of ribeyes, T-bones, whatever you like, pan sear them to a good medium rare, set them to the side, deglaze the pan with a little bit of red wine, like a Cabernet Sauvignon, something like that. Let it get all that fond up, let it reduce by half, turn off the heat, throw 2 pads of butter in it, just kind of shimmy that pan a little
I love doing that.
till the butter melts on its own, no stirring. Pour that over your steaks.
Awesome.
And that's a simple reduction sauce, and that's how
I
you
see
make
that with
it.
a red wine, for sure. Reduce to a reduction.
Well, there's this word I keep seeing. I want to feel ya. I want to feel ya. What's the word?
Careful.
Onophilia.
Onophilia.
It sounds like a dirty word, doesn't it? Or you're making a dirty suggestion, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What is an ona?
Onophilia means the love of wine.
Yeah, simple as that, huh?
And it sounds like a Beatles song. I want to feel ya. But
Yeah.
it sounds like your coming home to somebody. Yeah, I want to make a dirty suggestion.
It probably works well if you're in Provence.
I guess. And then,
well, there's what I love this word, noble rot. I know it's associated with the wine industry, and it means something interesting.
Yeah.
Scientific even. But other than being a cool name for a wine bar, I don't know what it is.
As a matter of fact, in Oregon, there is a wine bar called Noble Rot.
I think there's a Noble Rot in just about every state.
Noble Rot is, it's almost the raisioning of the grape, letting it stay on the vine so long that it starts to form fungus on the outside of the grape in the plants. And what you're doing is you're denying, or you're reducing the amount of liquid that's in the grape as you get it raised, the water. And by doing that, you create so much concentration of sugar and the minerals that are in that soil. But usually those wines that are Noble Rot, made from Noble Rot, are more expensive because you get less yield out of the grapes. But here's one for you.
Yeah, okay.
Larding.
Larding?
Larding.
Lardon?
Larding.
Okay.
Have I got you? Have I stumped you?
No, I've not heard it used like that. A larding in Europe and some places is actually a pantry. Lardons are small pieces of bacon fat or pork
That's
fat.
the one I was getting to.
Lardons.
Lardon.
Lardons. Lardon.
Mike speaks Southern French.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all.
He heard people saying lardon and assumed it was ing at the end, because why wouldn't it be? But
Well,
yeah, lardons.
In my book it said larding.
Yeah, that sounds like a really old word for
Lardon. Lardon.
And it could be a verb form of making lardons, say larding, which is to cut the, if you've got your bacon cut into strips and you cut it about every half inch all the way down, you're making lardons.
Yeah.
And then just throw that into a cold pan, bring the heat up slowly, render that down for the fat, and you'll get the best bacon bits you've ever had.
Oh, wow.
It's very crispy.
Oh, wow. So,
yeah. So you actually cut the bacon before you cook it to get really good bacon.
Yes.
Not crush up bacon once it's done.
I want to say too, bringing our guests on, I'm glad that St.
Randy
Patty's
Seale.
Day falls differently than Mardi Gras this year. We are in Mardi Gras season now. The 12th day has already happened, and
12th.
It's already happened. So we're in our season here in the South. We got so much going on. Weather's been great. We've been lucky.
Yeah, so,
Sort
you
of.
know, and, I think the way we're going to celebrate Mardi Gras is the traditional way of going up the Lookout Mountain and getting a cat.
That's a great way.
Can I toss in real quickly,
Yeah.
go down to Bob's Downtown Diner, experience brunch starting at 10:30 this morning.
10 o'clock.
Is it 10 o'clock?
They serve alcohol.
crazy about
They serve alcohol. They start at 10.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so it's an early brunch.
A block north of Cathedral Square, 2 blocks west of Bienville.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we were there
Folks, get out there,
Friday night.
support local, be local, buy local.
We
And,
did Friday night at Art Walk. Yeah.
Glad y'all did. You set a fine example.
Yeah, well, I have always
You
been
practice
told
what
that.
you preach.
Yeah,
You
by
practice what you
myself.
preach.
All right, guys,
folks.
gotta go.
We gotta go. Provolone out there.
Provolone.
Enjoyed the interview this morning, that was great.
What's that?
Mike tuned out during the interview. He said, I ain't gonna hear about no Scottish dude.
Policy forms and
Hey,
available
Bailey, I'm
in every
Irish.
state. Did you know that life
Well,
insurance
we're gonna have
rates
James
are near
Joyce
record
tonight.
lows? If you own life
You gotta
insurance
remember.
or thinking
I think
of
that
buying
instrumental I
outside,
played was
spend more than
Irish,
you have
actually.
to.
Yeah.
1886 AccuQuote
Still
is
close.